Welcome to Time for Success Business Owner Dad's Edition. And this is a show where we dive into what does success mean to you as a business owner dad, and what does it take to get there. So this is Matt Barbie, your host, and I am the CEO of Time for Success. And what we do is we help business owners achieve the type of business that gives them and their family the lives that they dream of. And we have a very special guest today who's going to help us to understand business, family, and credit repair. So, John, how's it going today?
It's going good, man. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. John Boll is the founder of the Credit Care Company. And, John, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. Well, what we do is we help people get their financial life back on track. Most of my clients are wanting to buy a house, and we can usually have them ready for a loan approval, and that's with scores in the 500 to 550 range. We can usually have them ready for loan approval roughly around 90 days.
Amazing. 90 days to go from around 500 to 550, and you can turn that around for them.
We can get them up to about, most people are wanting to do an FHA loan, which means we got to get them around 640. So you're looking at about a 100-point increase. But, it's just a matter of doing things the right way, and we got it down.
Yeah. Well, I think this is probably a topic that's fairly close to quite a few business owners' hearts. Sometimes business can be challenging, we'll say.
Right.
And so, they might have to do a few things that might hurt their credit. So you can share some ideas on that then, I guess, right?
Right. And we also, besides helping individuals, you also work with businesses as far as helping them establish business credit and making sure they have their business set up the right way to be able to get funding and to be able to get a great paydex score, which is the credit model for businesses.
Excellent. Okay. Well, so tell me a little bit more about your family.
Okay. I have been married for 35 years coming up this May to Ellen, and she's currently a nurse over at St. Clair, and she's put up with me for a long time. She's a great gal. I love her to death. And I also have a daughter, Rachel, and she is just the light of my life. And her daughter, Elin, my granddaughter, is 3.5, and that baby just is something else. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So, did you have a business whenever your daughter was growing up?
Yes, I grew up in a family business. We had an old-time five and dime store, Ben Franklin's store, back in the day. My dad started it in '57, and I started working there when I was 14, and I worked there until we closed it down in 1997.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did a really good job. We were the largest Ben Franklin store in St. Louis, and we carried just a lot of different merchandise that you couldn't find anywhere else.
That's amazing. So what was it like growing up in a family business like that, like from the kids' perspective?
It was interesting. You were always going. My folks, they put in a ton of hours, and I was kind of a latchkey kid growing up. Before I think the term was even around, because I would come home from school from middle school, and then I would be at the house by myself until they got home around 5:30, and and then when I got old enough, I would catch the Cherokee 20 bus after school and take it down to work, and then work down there about 3 days a week, and that was through high school.
Yeah. So they were still able to get home at a decent time then, 5:30, even though they have the stores. That's good. So whenever they started that, so when did they start that store? How old were you?
Oh gosh, I had it since I was born.
Since you were
there's
born,
pictures, me as a baby and a toddler running down the aisles and stuff.
Oh wow!
At that place, it was a neat experience. It was a unique place.
Yeah. What happened that it ended up having to shut down?
It was in South St. Louis, down on Grand and Chippewa, and the neighborhood just went bad. It just got more really dangerous. We were armed robbed 3 times last year we were there, and we had a lot of older ladies working with us, and somebody was going to get hurt, so we just had to shut it down.
So it's kind of just the location.
It was tough, and for me, my resume was just that.
Wow.
What did you do for the last 20 years? Well, I worked at Ben Franklin. What did you do? Like, did everything.
Yeah.
Ordering, merchandising, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little rough after that. But yeah.
Okay. And then when did you start up the credit card company?
I started the credit care company about 8 years ago.
Okay.
I was in mortgages 7 years before that.
Okay.
So I was helping people with credit then, and then the opportunity came up with the credit care. Steve Hasser owned the company at that time, and I worked for him for about 6 months. I ended up buying the company.
Oh, wow.
So we are the oldest and the best reviewed credit repair company in St. Louis. You can check out our Facebook page, Google Business. We have 3 times the reviews of anybody else, so we got good reviews. We really care about our clients and helping them achieve their goals in the shortest time possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this show is all about, goals and success and all that stuff, So how do you define success for yourself and for your family?
Oh man, that's a toughie. Just having no issues, no problems. Being able to spend quality time, plus being able to financially provide.
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
So if you had all the money and the time in the world, what would you guys do with it?
Myself, I would like to travel.
Okay.
More. I mean, I think that would be a lot of fun. And then plus, I mean, it's a rewarding business because we get to help others. I get to see the results. I have clients come by and I mean, they'll even give me a hug sometimes, like, John, I couldn't have done it without you, as far as, achieving their goal of home ownership and getting things back on track it's huge.
So in business, in your business, one of your goals is to get more hugs.
Right. Keep everybody happy. And the other thing too, if you look at my LinkedIn page, I use that line from Zig Ziglar to help people to get where you want. You got to help enough people get to where they want.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things I live by. So
Absolutely.
we always go the extra mile because what goes around comes around.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I really teach, the business that I work with and the sales teams and all that is that, it comes down to the people and how you're trying to help them. And when you can really understand, what's in the heads and hearts of those individuals, then, you can really figure out,
right,
how do I best help them with their goals and inspirations? So
right.
Most often what you see when people walk in the door, like what are their goals and aspirations?
Most of the time, they're either trying to buy a house, they're trying to buy a car, they're trying to get their score up just to better their lives. And what I'll do is I'll set up a process for them as far as, a lot of people need to build credit. We have a 4-step program that'll by itself jump scores 50 to 100 points in 60 to 90 days.
Wow.
So I'll get people set up for that. And I do that for free. The only thing that I charge folks for is to actually clean up the report. Mm-hmm. But if you go on my website, I got ebooks that I give away. I got just a ton of free information, web links, just different things to help people get their lives back on track.
Yeah. Okay. So what's an example of some of the ebooks that you have?
Oh, gosh. I have one on financial wellness, which is really good. I have another one. It's kind of on the same vein as that, but it's a little bit more in depth. One's like 35 pages, but it'll show you how to do a budget, things to do, even talking to your kids about credit. Yeah. Another one that's a lot more in depth. And then another one on business, as far as getting your business back on track.
So when it comes to a budget, that's one of those mental blocks that I think a lot of people have. It's not really valued, I think, a lot in our society. It's just kind of people just kind of spend and hope that they've got money in the banks. What are some of the pros in your eyes of having a budget?
Well, you got to track where money's going, and that's the big thing. You take 1 month and you track every dollar for 30 days, and you will be shocked. Yeah. Because it's $5 here, $10 there. You're going out getting, Starbucks, that type of thing. Yeah. And if you really track it, you would just be absolutely shocked at where money goes. My wife and I did that, and it was mind blowing.
Yeah. So when you say it was mind blowing, what are some of the things that kind of highlighted? I mean, is it just
you
weird
know,
spending or just things
just
that you didn't
different
even
things.
need?
Yeah, things that you didn't need, and just going out, you're at Walmart, buy a toy for the grandbaby, just stuff like that.
Right.
Just different things, $5-10 here. But the thing is, it all adds up.
Yeah.
So what I try and get through to my clients, you have a budget set up. Well, you really should, because they're trying to get a house. So there's down payment information that they're going to need, and money that needs to be put away and so forth. And they need a plan to do that. And that's one of the things that we really work hard to try and give them.
Yeah. One of the things that I try to stress with people that a budget, I mean, it's not some sort of useless exercise. It's not something also that is purely regimented, like as in, if you go over this, we're gonna have a problem, right? I mean, kind of, sort of. I mean, but it's a budget is just about having a plan.
Right.
Right.
And the same thing with building your credit. What I do is I give people a plan and give them a step-by-step on what to do. I mean, I've had people in the 400s within 2 years following and doing the right thing will have their score in the 800s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And there's simple rules, and if you follow those rules, you're going to have the same outcome. Good outcome. It's just knowing the rules, which they don't teach in school, which drives me absolutely insane.
Oh, of course. Now, there's certain rules. I mean, well, I guess Dave Ramsey talks about not having a any credit score because he doesn't take any credit. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
Dave Ramsey's shooting people the wrong way. I mean, granted, you need to have credit to establish a good credit score, period.
Yeah.
What I tell my clients is get credit established, keep it in the background, use it every 6 months so they don't shut it off. But live on a cash basis. Use your debit card. Watch where you're spending and keep your credit just as a backup. Don't use it, because the thing is, you got that 29% interest rate, which is not going to come into play unless you carry over an amount. And then that's where you're going to get charged. But if you pay it off every month, I mean, you're golden.
Right. And so if somebody's got like that 400 or 500 or whatever credit score,
right?
What are some of the things that they need to start doing or stop doing pretty much immediately to really start building that up pretty quickly?
Okay. Well, when I see somebody in the 400s, the first thing that comes to mind is recent negative activity. So if they've had recent late payments, was just to let you know, is the kiss of death to your credit.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. If you had a 680 credit score, you get 1 30-day late on either a credit card missed payment or mortgage or car payment, it will drop your score 100 to 110 points overnight. It will affect it negatively, worse for the first 6 months, but overall it'll affect it for 2 years. So that's one of the things I see when I'm looking at a 400 score. The other thing is recent collections. A recent collection can cost you 50 to 70 points. And the thing is, the higher your score gets, the more it hurts. So you really got to watch it. But on the flip side, if you go ahead and start not having late payments, and as time goes by, your credit score is going to go up. But the problem is, most of the people with those low scores don't have credit established. So what kind of sets me apart is I help people get the credit established and help them, get things going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And give them rules to go by.
Okay. So is it? It's also a matter of like the right kind of credit established. Is there like the wrong kind of credit versus the right kind of credit?
Well, here's what the credit bureaus like to see, and this is 10% of your score, just so you know. The credit bureaus like to see a house payment, a car payment, sorted financial payment. They like to see 2 to 3 major cards, 2 to 3 minor cards. By major cards, Master, Visa, Discover, American Express. Minor cards, Walmart, Amazon.com, Target, store cards.
Okay.
So you need that mix, and that's what I provide people with.
Okay.
I think that gets them started off. And the thing is, the credit that I get people started with is just a stepping stone to 680. 680, when you get to that score, is when you can go into Walmart, Target, and get those type of cards. Usually, if your score's lower, you're going to get turned down.
Okay.
But the cards that I have are designed for people to get back on track. So if you're at a 500 or higher, you know, I got 3 cards right off the bat, you won't get turned down for it, but will help you build up. Because here's the thing people don't realize, Matt, is credit cards are 30% of your score. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have any, you're not picking up on that. And then another part of the credit is, or that makes up a score, is length of credit history, which is 15%, which ties back to credit cards. So right there is 45% of your score that if you don't have credit cards, you're not picking up on.
Wow. So you really need to have something there.
You've got to have it.
Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, it will help your score grow. But let's, you know, a lot of different companies, like for instance, Lexington Law, or creditrepair.com, what they will do is their whole business model is to get you to sign up and charge you every month and keep you there as long as they can.
Okay. And
they don't talk about building credit whatsoever. I mean, they'll tell you maybe go get a secure card or, you know, buy a car and have a payment. Okay. And that's it. And it just doesn't work. Your score will go up, but not that quick. What makes me different is I help people actually clean up what's on their credit and establish new credit. And when you do a combination of the two, that's how scores go up so quick.
Okay. Now, in terms of you know, having these credit cards, I've heard some things that you want to pay off things immediately. I've also heard that you want to keep about, you know, 20-30% or something like that on the cards, and that helps it. Okay,
so here's the way credit cards work, and here's how people get in serious trouble.
Okay.
Ideally, well, the credit bureaus have it set up like this. They consider the closer you are to the limit, the bigger risk you are for default. So what they do, as soon as you get around 30%, they take away points. They take away more points at 50%. They consider your card maxed out at 75%. A maxed out card will cost you 15 all the way up to 30 points per card. And if you go over the limit, add another 10 to 15 points. I mean, I've had people come in that have had perfect credit as far as payment history, never had a late, no issues, no problems. 4 or 5 credit cards, maxed out, scores in the low 6s. I'm talking like 610, 615. So, you know, you got to manage it. And ideally, you want to stay below 10%. Just to let you know, people with 800 credit scores have 3 things. They have really long credit card histories.
Okay.
Because the credit card companies believe if you have a card that's been open a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you're a better credit risk because it shows you're managing your credit correctly by keeping your cards open. If that makes sense.
Interesting. Okay.
So you know, you want to keep, once you get a card open, you don't want to close it out. You want to let it grow old. And that's what the bureaus, they like to see.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's 15% of your score. But ideally, you want to, you know, keep your balances at 10% or less. Ideally, you want to pay it off every month. But if you want to maximize your score, you don't want to go over that amount.
Really? Oh, so you don't want to go over 10%.
Yeah, 10, 20, you want to stay in that range. Because when you get higher than that, they're taking away points. And then the other thing that, you know, I get a lot of people to talk about is inquiries.
Yeah.
You know, when you get like a hard pull on your credit. So if you go to a car dealership and they run your credit, it's a hard pull. Or if you go and get a new credit card, it's a hard pull.
Right.
That's like 1 to 3 points. So it's not a big deal. But people with really high credit scores, one of the things that they have is very, very few inquiries.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other thing is they usually have 6 to 9 credit cards.
Interesting. Okay. 6 to 9 credit cards.
6 to 9 credit cards with balances lower than 10%.
Okay.
So that's like an average. So, and it's funny because I've done a lot of research as far as what do you need to have really high scores. And by the way, the score that you're shooting for is 760. At 760, you can go out and you can go anywhere. You can get the best rates. You can get, you know, a black card, whatever.
Okay, 760.
Yeah, I mean, 850 is as high as you can go through FICO. But if you're at 760, it's just like having an 850, except you don't have the bragging rights.
Right. So how do you instill these values around like good credit and all that stuff with kids? What are some tips there?
The first thing is you want to teach kids the value of money.
Okay.
And, you know, have them open a savings account, or if they're smaller, get a piggy bank, get into their head about saving. And, a big thing with kids is a want and a need aspect, as far as, like, if there's a toy and they really want it, but do they need it? And the other thing too, and this goes for adults also, if you want something really bad, but it's like an impulse, you need to wait 3 days.
3 days, okay.
And if you feel the same way in 3 days, then buy it. But a lot of times you'll look back and it's like, I really didn't need that. So I'm really glad I didn't buy it. But if you buy it 3 days later, you're like, God, why did I do this? So it's always good to, be rational and give that waiting period. And I've noticed that really works.
Yeah, so save yourself that buyer's remorse.
Right.
3 days. Okay.
Right.
You don't think 24 hours is enough? Because some people are like, wait 24 hours. I've heard that one.
Yeah, I think 3 days is a little bit better measure.
Okay.
And then as far as the state of Missouri, they have a 3-day right of rescission for like if you buy something, they give you 3 days to change your mind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably something that a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
What does that apply to?
Oh gosh, like for instance with my industry, we are licensed with the state, and if someone signs an agreement with us, there's a 3-day right of rescission where they can change their mind. Same if you had a home salesman come in from Dalco and you were buying siding or buying windows, there's usually a 3-day right of rescission.
Okay.
Because a lot of times these guys will sit there and pound you till you sign a contract.
Right.
And then when they're out the door, you're thinking, why the heck did I do that? So there's that little escape valve.
Okay. So even if you signed a contract.
Yeah, it depends, and like I said, it's varied per industry.
Okay.
But I know as far as home improvement, that's one of the ones that has it.
Okay, but that's a Missouri statute or statute?
Yeah, it's a statute.
Okay, but it's different for different industries?
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, do you have more information on that one? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh man.
Those are pretty much the only two that I know of. I'd be honest with you, I've not done a lot of research into it.
Because that's something I haven't heard about before.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really
because I used to, after Ben Franklin, one of the jobs I had, which was just a killer, I used to work for, I don't know if you remember St. Clair Roofing. I did that for a year, and that was home improvement sales. And if you went in and you did a sales pitch to somebody and you didn't sell them, you didn't get paid. So, a lot of times it could be rough, and that was one of the things I had.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So for kids, it's teach them about money early and make sure that they get some sort of savings account.
Right.
Want versus need. Teach them the 3-day rule.
Right.
Okay, that's awesome. So we've got only about 2 minutes left. So if you could just maybe kind of tell the audience again kind of what you do and where they can find more information, please.
Sure. We give a ton of free information, and you can call me anytime and go to our website. There's a place where you can put your email address, your name, and you can write about your situation, and I always respond to that. You can go to, and my website is www.creditcareco.com, and you can find us on the web. Be sure to check out our reviews. We got excellent reviews, and we do a good job for those.
Yeah. And you said that there's all sorts of free financial information.
Tons of free financial information.
Just to get you started.
Yeah, same with our Facebook page. We got a ton of really good info.
Okay. And again, what are some of like the most popular informational packages that you have out there?
We got, like I said, we got free ebooks. We have free credit builders on there. We also have a list of different websites that people can go to help them financially. And then also we work with a lot of real estate people and a lot of mortgage people. And I got the good ones listed on our website.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time today. I think that your insights on credit and just managing your finances are huge. And again, a budget isn't like some sort of scary thing. It's just simply a plan for how to spend your money. Right. So, if you want to feel like you're not being caught off guard every month, you have a plan, right? And you work the plan.
Right.
And you have a path for it. So this has been Matt Barbie with Business Owner, or Time for Success Business Owner Dad's Edition with the guest John Boll of the Credit Care Company. Again, if you want to find more information on how to build the business that you dream of, please reach out. You can give me a call at 314-441-5423. All right. Thanks, everybody.